Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a breakfast chat and having my bison, my rice, my cranberry juice. Alright, today we're going to do current events. I was not going to do this video. I actually told people in the comments I don't see the need to do this video. Eric's not really a fitness channel, never really been a fitness channel. Well, he was at one time, many years ago when he was a teenager. And I didn't feel like doing it. But some people had said, it's a cop-out. And I had a lot of people send me private messages saying, hey, you really need to cover this. And someone linked me Eric's video of him explaining what happened the day of, or the morning of when he woke up, to his channel being gone, because he did it, I guess, on a smaller channel. And I listened to it and I said, you know what, I do need to cover this, because I had said before I will do current events if they're particularly relevant, very relevant, not just random silly stuff. But the thing I had said over a year ago to you people, I want to keep this channel positive. Okay, I don't want to just rip and tear people apart. I want to generally have a positive message with what I do. It's a direction that I felt it was important for me to go. This will be a test of that. Me being able to cover this in a positive manner, because there was a lot of bad blood between Eric and I. Okay, there's history there. And if I can cover this in a positive manner, it will allow me to keep my word to my audience. And I think it's important to do that because I was very serious when I made that statement. And this will test my character on it. And I know that Eric will watch this video. Eric was pretty obsessed with me for a long time, made a lot of videos basically mocking me, involving me, imitating me, things like that. He'll watch this. He cares. So it's going to be some of this to say, Eric, this is things you could have done better, and this is going to be a pivotal life moment for you. And in a lot of ways, it was for the best, because you were out of control. Now, my understanding is that Eric had jumped over into a new style of video, and I had seen one of them. Someone had sent me one. There was a reason I needed to see that one. There was a specific reason. I'm not going to get into the details here why, but it was something technically personal to me. The reason I needed to see that video. And I saw it, and I was surprised. I'm like, YouTube is going to take this video down and give it a strike. And I don't think they actually struck that one, but I was shocked because I know, based upon my experience with YouTube, the fact that I have a partner manager, we talk about these things. I was given a partner manager 2 years ago. Signed one 2 years ago. Do video calls and stuff with at Google. And I would assume Eric has been given at least one of these temporarily also. Someone he can run this stuff by. Who let me know, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And actually, my videos were all okay. Some of them might have been pushing the edge, and some of those I've actually gone through recently and started taking them down a bit. Because some of them really more negative ones, I've started taking some of them down over time. I'm trying not to do them all at once, just doing them over time. Mainly because people say, oh, your channel didn't get any views, and it's like, well, yeah, if I took 500,000 views worth of negative videos down in a month, it's going to look like I got no views. But I've done that, and I was surprised. I saw what he did, and I'm like, Eric, you're going to lose your channel. That's what I thought when I saw that. And it should have been obvious to anyone who watched this stuff. So the people who need to know what he did, Eric got into what's called predator catch videos, where essentially, if I'm understanding this correctly, he made fake profiles online and was targeting gay men, gay adult men, who were trying to pick up teenage boys, who were technically willing, but let's come over to the law. If you're not at the age of consent, and that varies depending upon where you are in the U.S., there is no American consent laws. For anyone who doesn't understand that, it's something I learned when I took a Texas law class, a criminal law class, and I got an A in it, that consent laws are individual at the state. And if someone is under the age of consent, they cannot legally give consent. The fact that they are willing is completely and utterly irrelevant. They are not old enough to give consent. And those laws exist for a very good reason. Those laws exist to cut down on predatory behavior, of basically adults taking advantage of young people who are not mature enough to really be making that type of decision yet. Okay? It's there to protect them. And there's usually exceptions in those laws written if say, you're close enough to age to them. That's technically an exception. In Texas, if they're within 3 years of them, it can get thrown out. Okay, that's a defense because you're not a lot more mature than them. If you're within 3 years, you're more or less the same age. So there's exceptions in that case, but outside of those exceptions, it's a statutory offense. If you do that and you get caught or there's evidence, provable evidence that you did it, you're going to go to jail. Okay, and it's that simple. And it's there for a good reason. The problem is that what Eric was doing with this, I'm going to go a few directions with this. And he can pretend it was for noble intentions. I've known Eric for over 8 years online. Okay. Eric got to where he was pushing the boundaries all the time, just trying to make more money on YouTube. And I get that. YouTube is primary income. YouTube, at quite a few points, has been my primary income. It's not these days. My coaching makes a lot more money than my YouTube ever made. It's my real gig. This is a secondary thing. Eric has always used YouTube as an income. It's always been his entire real life since he's ever earned money. He's never had a real job. YouTube has been his spiel. But the problem is that because he started getting further out of control, and what I mean by that is Eric, so the videos you were making on me, had I pushed it with my content manager and talked about it and filed complaints, there's a very good chance you could have got strikes for those. They were actually against YouTube's terms of service. I never pushed it. I didn't care enough. It wasn't worth it to me. I wasn't going to be that malicious towards you. I didn't like it, but I wasn't going to take it that far. I've gotten at least a dozen channels closed down through my partner manager, though, because they were violating the rules. It's not like, they're doing it just because they like you as a thing. They look into it further when you discuss it with them, and then they send it over, file the report, and then they link it over to their people to look over the report. And if it's in violation, they terminate those channels. And it's not that hard to do if you really are violating the rules. In your case, Eric, you were breaking YouTube's rules. Okay. Not severely, but it would fall under those categories. But Eric got more and more out of control because he felt like as long as he could get an audience following something, he could do whatever he wanted. He'd be fine. He'd make money. He made money on the sensationalism, and it grew and grew. And Eric was successful at it. From what I understand, I think he had said he was earning a 6-figure income off of his sensationalism. But here's the thing, guys. Eric has always made a lot of money off sensationalism. This wasn't done because he has a noble purpose to stop predators. It was done because he knew he could cash in on it. It's a topic that's going to evoke a lot of emotion from people. Understandably so. Most people don't like that type of behavior. The vast majority of people despise that type of behavior. So if they kind of see someone getting their comeuppance who's engaging in it, they like that. The problem is that Eric, first of all, you're interfering with the police's ability to do this. These people weren't punished. They didn't go to jail. You didn't coordinate with police to do this. You did it on your own, trying to act like you're the police, okay, trying to enforce the law yourself. Okay, you embarrassed and humiliated some of these people. That's not going to deter them from their urges and things that they're doing. That's not going to deter them. Okay, they need police interaction. They need psychological interaction. Basically, those people need to be arrested, and they probably need to be going through some therapy. That's what they need. Yeah, you didn't do any of that. All you did was put them on high alert. And these sort of channels who do this, that's what you're doing. You're putting these people on higher alert and making it harder for them to get caught. Really caught. And caught means, they're in a courtroom being charged with a crime. Because this is criminal behavior. This isn't just bad behavior. This behavior is criminal, and it has consequences. And those consequences include prison time. Those consequences, it can include being put on a watch list for the rest of their life. Okay, those are real consequences. And a lot of times it involves those people also getting help for their illness, because that's illness. There's something wrong with someone at that point. Okay, that's not normal behavior, but let's come back over to the point. Eric, this is for your best interest. I want you to think through why you got your channel terminated. You were engaging in very illegal activity. You were engaging in dangerous illegal activity. You're basically, the stuff you were doing, you were committing felonies on camera. Whether you think they're justified or not doesn't change that. If you commit a felony and you think it's justified, you go to court. Just like those people, had they got the consequences, they get arrested, they go to court. They're in a courtroom and they have to prove their innocence. Okay, if you commit a crime, but it was justified, you got a defense as to why you did it, you're going to have to prove that in court. Okay, you were committing crimes with a lot of what you did. A lot of that was illegal. So you could have faced yourself criminal consequences. The other thing, bro, you did this to people and humiliated them in this way. Wow. And I believe he's in California, and I could be wrong. I think Eric was in California. Okay, you were targeting gay dudes. Do you understand if some of those guys sued you, how deep a debt you would be in? If they actually sued you over what you did, right? And they took it to court, do you understand how bad that would go? Eric, you would be completely fucked. Okay? And some of those people could still do that. You lost your channel, you lost your income. You lost your income. You could be sued for like $1 million worth of damages in people, and it can stick. Number 3, the danger. You put yourself in a situation to where you were extremely physically intimidating people who are not in their right mind and in a good mental state. Because again, people who are emotionally well adjusted don't go onto the internet and try to pick up teenagers. All right? These are not well-adjusted individuals. You're dealing with mentally ill people. And putting yourself in a situation of physical intimidation and physical threat towards a bunch of mentally ill people. Do you understand that if one of them had been armed, you could have gotten shot? Okay? Eric, you could be dead right now. You could be dead right now. You put yourself into a situation where you were committing criminal acts against potentially mentally ill people in a situation to where they would feel physically threatened. Everyone has guns in this country. Okay, there's over 500 million guns in the U.S. That could have gone horrifically wrong. Do you understand that them shutting this down when you got that out of control was for your own good? It's for your own good at that point, Eric. That's becoming dangerous. It's dangerous to yourself, dangerous to others. Okay, and you were committing crimes. If the worst penalty you get out of this was losing your YouTube channel, you were going to be lucky. It's going to suck. It's going to have to make you figure out completely how to make a living all over again. And that sucks. That's tough, man, especially when this is all you've ever done. And that's it. You're done. Okay? You're done. You're going to have to come up with something else. You're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to think things through. You're going to have to be mature. You're going to have to get yourself back under control. And you're going to have to find a way to do something else with your life. And it sucks that you're in that situation, but man, you were out of control for a very long time. And like I said already, you're lucky you didn't get physically harmed. You're lucky you didn't go to prison. You're lucky no one has sued you for $1 million. Okay, perspective, man. But that aside, I would say with all those things, Eric, even though there's been a lot of bad blood between us, I wish you the best, and I hope that you find a way to come through this and do better with your life afterwards. And I genuinely mean that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.